Harry?
Yeah, I'm here, pal.
Hey, buddy, just to let you know, I'm in here, but I'm going on silent for the game.
Yeah, no worries. I think me and Shots have just finished the other game, and we're both jumping straight across to this one.
Cool beans, I'm transmitting. Anyway, enjoy. Hope we can provide a good game for you guys.
I'm sure you will. Go bag!
Later.
Later, pal. Good evening, viewers. I've just jumped across from the Orchidas ball game. Shortly be joined by my fellow coach. More Shots in the co-announcing booth here, and just managed to catch the beginning of this game. I don't know if we have any viewers out there right now, so I'll just ramble on incessantly like I normally do, and hope the meds kick in very soon. Oh, but there's people talking in the chat, so I'm talking bollocks. Come on, Shots, where are you? If anybody in the chat out there can advise me, is this a bowl game or a playoff game?
This is a playoff game.
Thank you very much. I'm taking it that was the stew.
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much.
I've got Eldrill and the Wizard.
Die, war dancers, die! Good luck.
I appreciated you for the first 5 seconds. I'm going off.
No problem, pal. So, I don't know where Shots is. I was hoping he'd join me, but I think he might have got lost on the way. So, we see the kickoff by the White Owls to the Green Tide Titans. Players to know if you're unfamiliar with... Oh, here he is, finally. What time do you call this?
Oh, you know, just rolling in. I heard there was a game here. Got to get it tuned in quick, but... I heard some madman screaming about how war dancers needed to die and that, and I figured that you had to be involved with it somewhere.
I love them. I did wish him good luck after wishing his war dancers to die, so, you know. Despite my hatred of war dancers and me wanting to see them in pain and suffer, I really like to watch Wood Elves play. Because I can't play like that, so...
Yeah, and this will be an interesting one where the strength of the Green Tide Titans really comes from you know, the mobility of Gorbag and then the brute force of the rest of their players. So it'll be interesting if the Wood Elves are able to keep a safe distance. It'll be difficult for the Titans to really get that get their hooks in on them and put that pounding in that they so often do.
I am a big Gorbag fan. I have got to say, I do have his poster on my wall and his name upon my scarf. I do have a bit of a man crush, orc crush on Gorbag at the moment.
Yeah, and they're off to a quick start, throwing some pretty fast blocks. It looks like here, and getting their first stun on the AG5 catcher, nice and sticky, or no, slick and dirty, or fat and nasty, or greasy and happy. I can't tell. It's it's something going on here.
You see, I think it's just the thought of being on the pitch for the Wood Elves that's just making these thoughts come into your head.
It's a good day when you can get out there and get running around with the likes of them.
Oh dear. You have to excuse me, I might get a bit excited, a bit animated during this game because, like I say, it is Wood Elves, and yeah, I have a kind of a personal attachment to them, so forgive me if I do lose control at times.
Yeah, I think it's a bit expected. I think most people that tune in on a regular basis to the MML broadcast know your level of passion and commitment towards the Wood Elves and the War Dancers and your approach towards what should be best done to them.
I could write the book.
Looking at the field right now, it looks like the Wood Elves may have walked in with a bit of money to spend. That I do see a wizard lingering on the Wood Elf sidelines there. And Gorbag taking a healthy retreat, giving a lot of respect to the movement of these Wood Elves. That a lot of times he can sneak up closer towards the line, where here he has to take a healthy retreat to keep himself at a safe distance.
Which I think is a good play because Wood Elves especially, well, High Elves especially, you might say, but any Elf team, you've got to give them that respect. You've got to take your time taking that ball up the field because Elves can score out of anything. With the high agility skills and the passing, they can just turn a game on its arse. When they start rubbing their hands and they start creaming at Elf bullshit, they're in. They can score from any situation.
Another thing that I want to highlight here is in the heart of that Wood Elf defense right now, there is a star player snuck in there, and that player has hypnotic gaze, a skill that you don't see in most players, and that will actually take away the tackle zones of that Black Orc that was standing there. That freeing up the plus movement catcher NTB, named after one of our pro coaches, a Skaven coach at that, Coach NTB. So. The catcher is now loose and making movements.
Thank you for pointing it out. I didn't realise that to start with. Eldril Sidewinder. I believe he's played quite a number of games this season for a few Elf teams. I've noticed him on the pitch maybe a handful of times. One of the Elf star players that does feature a lot in the MML.
He's one of the Elf favorites with his particular set of skills. Having the 3 strength, 4 agility, pass block that may not come in handy all that much in this one, but is definitely a threat out of the box. And speaking of threats, we see the Wood Elf ways. That's the league leading scorer there, making a beeline towards Gorbag, and we see now why Gorbag took such a healthy retreat.
That is exactly what I'm talking about. What I was talking about just a couple of minutes ago. The Elves can perform something out of nothing, and look where he's put tackles on already on Gorbag.
Yeah, the White Elves are coming out swinging, and they're putting pressure on that ball immediately. And that's one of those where one step closer, it could have been just an absolute nightmare. Things to take note, though, if you look at that player, this player is notorious for marking up players and stuff like that. The skill set, he started off as a player that they were counting on to really be an offensive scorer with with sure feet and sprint and all that, and he's really developed into a bit of a dual threat with having wrestle and the movement and block. That he actually has both block and wrestle for situational approaches. If he needs to take a player down, he has that ability. If he needs to stay standing and keep his tackle zone there, he has the block ability. So a combination of skills that you don't normally see, but has become really effective on this player.
It does, but I do have my concerns why he made that decision to mark Gorbag up so early. Bearing in mind, he's a wood elf. He's not big. He's not strong. He's not muscular. He's a puny wood elf. He's skin and bones. One smack and he's down. It's like wet tissue paper. As we're seeing now, he's hit the ground hard.
Yeah, and that's one of those where it forces them to use the blitz at that spot. So the effect of that's done is it's taken the blitz and put it on a location where the Wood Elf coach has made it mandatory that had to be the blitz. It's saving the blitz from coming down on one of the war dancers or a thrower or even one of the other catchers. So it forces the attack into a place where they can control where the game's being played.
So there is method in the madness.
I couldn't be certain of it, but that's my guess because I don't pretend to know what Wood Elf coaches think or do. I just am impressed every time they do something flashy that I could never imagine even being capable of doing so.
My problem is I've never found method in my madness. I've only found madness, and I often find them in the windmills of my mind in my own personal hell.
This world is a deep world that we sometimes get lost in. We can't help it. I don't know why they let two chaos coaches announce these things. I think that would be a bad idea.
Yeah, that might have something to do with it.
But we're seeing the Orcs retreat and mark up a few more players that they are going to continue to force the issue and make the elves make these dodges. The cage has not been completed yet, so the back end of this cage is it's still at a 3/4 point. So some weakness is still out there, and war dancers in the area looks like to be a block, jump up, strip ball, sidestep. I mean, just war dancer skills are just a different level of scary.
What you might want to add to that list of skills you just mentioned is leap. We've seen it so many times when the war dancers leap into the cage, blitz the ball carrier, strip the ball off him, pick the ball back up, jump out of the cage again, then run off down the field. We've seen it time and time again. This is why I hate them. I want them to die in the most despicable ways possible. Die! Burn the war dancer! Burn the war dancers! Sorry.
And on that note, I'd like to point out, this will make you happy, there's actually only one war dancer out here that I can find. I believe their other war dancer actually got injured in a foul in week 7 by a skink. So, I mean, a man that appreciates dead war dancers, one of them died most recently here for this from this team.
You make me happy. That's like pillow talk to me.
Well, I try and be attentive to the needs of my co-announcer. So we're seeing.
Really? Ooh. On the first date, I'm no slag. Tits first.
Exactly. And the eyeball comes through, and that's going to take that corner of that cage off. So I'm not sure what kind of nefarious ideas they have, but it looks like they're slowly loading up to do something with that area.
Right. Again, I've asked this before a few weeks ago. Can you explain hypnotic gaze skill to me if you're familiar with it?
I haven't used it much, but basically what it does is it strips that player of tackle zones and assist ability. So it would almost be like if he was just kind of laying down there. But he doesn't have to pass stand up in that.
So when Thunden takes control, he still has control of that player. He's not in a trance.
When he takes control, what he has to do to regain control of him is basically do something with that player. So like the black orc that's left up the field, if he moves that black orc or anything like that, that player becomes unhypnotized and goes back to normal. But in the last turn, that player didn't do anything, so that player is just going to continue to stand there and be hypnotized. So if they don't trigger or do something with the player, they stay hypnotized. And a lot of times, if a turnover happens suddenly, several players can end up getting hypnotized if they don't wake them back up in time. So
we might see them.
I have to imagine. these
we might
eyeballs
see
will
them running
slowly.
around the field clucking like a chicken at some point.
No, it won't be anything quite that entertaining, but it will be interesting to see how pissed off these Black Orcs are going to be when they start waking up and realizing there's some guy around there, like stealing like little portions of their life away.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Thank you for clearing that up for me.
And Coach Don Eagle, who was extremely familiar with the rules and that, did remind us that you can right click on the player and reactivate them. So that's another way to wake them back up. So you don't actually have to move them or attack with them, but you have to reactivate them.
So you don't have to make a dice roll.
No dice roll, and we're seeing the Black Orcs wake up, and they do not seem to be happy about that. So they are back moving and pissed off as no other. So
that's understandable. You say they've woke up and they're not happy. I've woke up many times next to a Black Orc in bed, and it's usually me that's more shocked, but they're never happy either. So.
And now we're going to see the source of that hypnotic gaze knocked out. The Black Orc, fun bus woke back up, assessed the situation, went, "You're the guy," and quickly knocked him out. So that is another thing that can happen when a Black Orc wakes up. Sometimes they punch the nearest thing in sight and just get done with it.
I know. I still bear the bruises. It's so rough. I wouldn't mind it. I even bought them chips last night as well. Didn't even get their name. I wouldn't mind. Got the phone number, but didn't even tell me the name.
So now it's going to be interesting. The tree is in the area. That is a 3-movement tree. That's white tree. It's only level 2, but did get that important plus movement that allows it to stand up without having to roll any dice. It still does have to roll for the take root, but is no longer required to roll to actually stand up. So that third mobility step is a huge advantage. And we're seeing a little bit of a change of positioning here. So it almost looks like Gorbag plans on making a move at this point, possibly going up on that far right sideline, and away he goes.
Yeah, he's got bodies over there. He's got his protection. He's happy with that. All the other wood elves seem to on the other side of the field, and they have to make a few dodges to get over there to help them out.
Rebuilt a good portion of that cage, and also has placed himself a good distance away from the war dancers. So that'll make him a little bit more safe. But as we've seen before, war dancers with that leap ability can pretty much nose themselves into anybody's business at any time. So we'll see how aggressive the white owls will end up being.
Can you stop saying the W word, please?
White owls?
No, I'm fine with that. You mentioned that a couple of times.
The other one?
Yeah.
You're still sensitive about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
I don't like it. Don't like it. The flashbacks, start burning things. It's not good.
Oh, I completely forgot about the catcher way back there. Okay, so the white owls are back in motion, and yeah, I completely forgot that they had the catcher back on the far side of the field. So
the catcher in the rye.
Oh, I do like a bit of rye every now and then.
I bet you do.
And sometimes things go a bit awry, also. So.
Well, I've emptied this bottle of Shiraz. I'll have to hit the vodka soon.
Taking a quick look, the White Owls have been doing pretty good. Only two. Only 2 KOs for the White Owls in these first 3 turns. So holding up fairly well so far. No major injuries on any of the Wood Elves.
Yeah, it's like I mentioned so early in the game. I think that the Titans here are going to take the time taking that ball up the field because they don't want to give possession to the Wood Elves. We've seen what they can do. But just look at the opening minutes of the game where the catcher came out, burst through the line of scrimmage all the way down to the end zone and put a marked up Gorbag. Gorbag here will take his time, and he will take his time going up to the end zone, and he will score on the stroke of half time here. But in that respect, the Wood Elves have employed a wizard. Are they going to zap him with that lightning bolt before he gets there?
Well, and that may have been part of the reason why we didn't see the Wood Elves, attack the cage quite yet. That they're positioning now that they have their catcher back up. They may be working on a quick, if they can keep the ball, in midfield where the Orcs aren't going to score, maybe they'll wait till as late as possible and try and do a fireball in the cage and a scoop and score quickly.
That was interesting with the failed dodge there by the elf lineman with the dodge skill.
Yeah, but he was walking through some pretty rustic territory there, so not an automatic dodge in that, but yeah, He looks like he was trying to possibly get a tackle zone on Gorbag or something there, where not a great idea to get too close to some of these Orcs. They've been known to damage pretty much everything that they can get a hold of. So,
well, one particular Black Hawk damaged me one night. I'm telling you now, I haven't pooped right for a week.
You really got to have a safe word. You got to work on that.
Yeah. The safety word is banana.
You can't use the safety word of an object in the room, though.
You reckon?
It doesn't end well. I'm just saying. Speaking of not ending well, we're going to get another attack on the Wood Elves there, and looks to be a bit of a stun on the thrower.
Yeah, I think, like we said, it's going to be a slow progression up the field here by Coach Thunden with Gorbag and the Greenside Titans. He's going to take his time. He's going to lap up that. He's in no rush to score. He doesn't want to give the Elves possession here. He's going to play safe.
Yeah, and this is one of those where they don't even really need to complete a full cage at this point because they have the sideline protecting them on one point, and they've got guard pieces and strength in the area. They've slowly been whittling down the numbers a bit on the Wood Elves, and as long as they can keep a few of them down and out of position, that it's a little bit less risky. That they've put tackle zones on pretty much everything in sight and just created an absolute mess between the War Dancer and the ball. So.
Big Mo not performing there. I'm sure Coach Thunder will be having words with him at halftime. Not listening to what he's been told to do.
I'm pretty sure Coach Thunder most weeks wakes up and just starts cursing Big Mo's name, and then all the way through breakfast continues to mutter all the shameful things that Big Mo's done, and by the time he gets into the office to start practice, he's all lathered up, he's spitting mad, and he cusses out Big Mo before practice starts, and then it's just Big Mo's head's been on the chopping block ever since season 2. So
I'm no fan of Big Mo. I remember when Big Mo was in the farm. And I played one of my Chaos teams against him. And from what I recall, Big Mo actually ran. This could have been season 2, could have been season 3. It was a while ago. He ran through and fouled my Minotaur and killed him. I couldn't believe it. I'm sure Thunder remembers that day. But, yeah. I can't
Big
forgive him
Mo's
for
notorious for having either a good game or a bad game. This seems like to be one of those. It's going to be a bad Big Mo game. So if Big Mo
you try saying that after 8 pints, a bad Big Mo game.
Bad Big Mo game. But the one nice thing that Big Mo has right now is the fact that if the tree punches him and knocks him away, Big Mo's free to move away. The disadvantage is that Big Mo, if he punches the tree, it's going to knock that take root clean off, and then the tree's going to be able to get up and move around. So we may just see Big Mo and White Tree just hug it out and have a nice little chat in midfield and let everybody else do all the playing.
So what you're saying is, Coach, the stew's got wood?
Oh yeah, he brought big wood. He brought a whole White Tree. And double field, go for it. Coach Stu having a bit of bad luck with the dice lately, with 2 turns in a row, ending a little bit prematurely.
And that's
Talking about ending prematurely, I'd like to take this time to let everybody know that Reptile Dysfunction has made it into the second round of the playoffs already. So we do have a lizard team that's into the second round. I'm not sure what the pairings will look like after this first round, but we do have a lizard team that's made it that far already. So, a little bit of excitement and something to look forward to. A little bit of Reptile Dysfunction.
I've no love for lizards either. Not as much as obviously with elves, but I think it's we're facing Coach Don Eagles so many times over the last couple of seasons and his Leaping Lizards team. Like I've already mentioned, I've petitioned to Goblin Gambling with regards to illegal steroid abuse with some of his Saurus plays, and I'm awaiting the results at the moment.
Yeah, and it's getting tough. Another playoff news: the Wrecking Crew ended up getting into the second round too with a win over Witch's Coven. So
really,
that was last night. They had a successful game in that one, and that one took quite a while. That the Wrecking Crew took their time playing the patient approach towards the game that they're well known for, and just slowly worked their way in and got that 2-1 victory.
So I can't remember if I actually watched that one or I was drunk. I can't remember because I've played the Witch's Coven this season, and Coach Girdley he's fantastic. He's just gone up the ranks so quickly, and they're a great team of the Witch's Coven.
It was a chess match, and trying to announce it, I felt like the slow kid in class because both coaches are just far superior to me. And it's
I do remember because I confessed my undying love for Coach Girdley.
Yeah. Well, everybody had a good time, so.
Yeah. We had a party. Yeah.
It was fun. So yeah, it looks to be that the white tree is going to stand with Take Root for the rest of this half. And Big Mo is going to stand with Really Stupid for the rest of this half, and they're just going to stare into each other's eyes, wondering what they have done with their life.
Again, I know I asked you to explain Hypnotic Gaze earlier on. Could you explain Take Root to me as well, please?
Take Root, basically, anytime that the treeman goes to take an action, they roll a dice, and if they roll a 1, he takes Root and he can't move. The only time he can begin to move again is if somebody knocks him down, and then he stands up. That breaks the Take Root, or if or if a touchdown scored when he comes back, he doesn't have Take Root. But I believe
he still has his tackle zones.
Yeah, he keeps his tackle zones. He can still attack. He can still swing in that, but he can't move basically from that spot. I'm not sure how it works with defender stumbles. If the tree had dodge, which I don't know why a tree would have dodge, but let's just say the tree had dodge. I don't know if that will break the Take Root. Maybe if Coach Don Eagle's around, he can assist with that because I know he's well versed in the rules. But yeah, that's one that's beyond me.
He was out there in the viewing public at one point. I'm sure if he's still there, he'll speak up and comment.
So, White Owls still coming up with a plan. I think it's going to be pretty difficult for them to really stop this score without effectively going in and throwing a lightning bolt at it, or even a fireball. A 3-man fireball would be an option, but this is not a great situation for them. That it looks like an orc score is going to be whenever the orcs decide it's going to happen. Lining up the players, trying to create some kind of a defense or proposition for them to go around. Failed dodge, and that's going to get a reroll. That the White Owl will still have 2 more rerolls after this. So,
interesting you mentioned the fireball though, because if you look further downfield, we do have elves in the orcs half. So if they would cast the fireball, and it was effective and worked in their favour, we do have a guy there within scoring range.
Well, and I think the fireball may be the reason why we're seeing the sideline cage. It limits the cage down to 3 players. So if a fireball does happen, it's harder to get that 5-player hit that most coaches are looking for when they have the wizard on the sideline, especially when you're playing against a bashy team. We've seen Thunden in the past use a really sloppy cage where the players are spread out and had quite a bit of success with that. Or in previous games. This time he's going to the sideline cage. And the quad skull. This is going to open up a door for the Wood Elves to get really aggressive. If the White Owls want, they really have an opportunity here that Nuffle has handed them on a silver platter a tough turnover.
I do believe Funbus, the Black Hawk, has been skull forked.
Forked? Oh yeah, it's a full forking.
Yeah, we got proper skull forked then.
And this is dangerous because and the wizard made an attempt at Gorbag and completely whiffed.
What?
The wizard whiffed. Gorbag saw it coming. It almost looked like he had a signal from somebody. He quickly adjusted himself to the sideline, and the lightning bolt hits. And I don't even think I don't think Coach Thunden even noticed it.
I didn't notice it.
I think he may have been a bit distracted by the previous. And we're going to get a word answer coming in on Gorbag.
All I can see is a singed turf and orc ear hair. What did I miss?
Well, the Gorbag was attacked by a wizard lightning bolt. The lightning bolt missed him, but the war dancer jumped in and just pushed Gorbag as he was taunting the crowd, letting them know that he's still running it. This is his house. No wizard's taking him out. I don't think he saw the war dancer coming. War dancer ended up getting an angle, and
this is what I was talking about in the last play. With the Wood Elf there waiting for the ball.
And are we gonna get an interception? Oh,
no, we're not.
I was hoping for a line orc interception, and that's gonna be an easy walk-in touchdown after the failed wizard, and then the war dancer comes in for the surf. So it's gonna be.
That is a proper kick in the nuts, though. When you let the ball for so long, you're taking your time up there, and something like that. This is what I said when we joined the game. The Wood Elves, High Elves, Dark Elves, they can change the game in a heartbeat with just one move.
Yeah, and if there's any consolation prize, only one Wood Elf got up from the KO, so. That's it's a real small little help, but this is one of those where I think the orcs are going to have to really knuckle up and start to possibly play a little bit dirty. They may have to start looking to foul a bit or something to get these numbers back, because now they're looking at having to get 2 touchdowns, because it's going to be really difficult to stop the White Owls from scoring when they have to kick to them at halftime.
Definitely, and there's a lot of orc players there on the Green Tide Titans actually skilled in the Mighty Blow skill. So hopefully, for Coach Thunden, he might actually see that coming to good effect and try and cut down the numbers of the Elf team. Because as a lot of us know, to beat a Wood Elf team, you have to cut down their numbers. That's probably the best way you can score against them.
Well, the difficult thing is that these elves have, they've had a few missed dodges, but for the most part, they've been keeping their distance, and we haven't seen the Black Orcs getting real clean hits. I mean, the Orcs have been trying to swing on the elves, but it's really one of those where it's been tough going, because they haven't been able to keep the Wood Elves marked. That the dodging ability of them has really come in.
And this could work in the Titans' favour now. This is exactly what we're talking about. The Mighty Blow come into effect. Put the Wood Elf on the deck. Hopefully it'll be a war dancer. And then we jump on his head. And the referee won't even notice. It gets better every day.
Oh, this is what I think. Here we go.
Oh, what happened then? I missed that
was
one.
that was a well slapped loner that's going to be done for the game, and this is going to start to even out these odds. If they can get a few more hits like this in, that's going to open up the floodgates. It's going to become more and more difficult with players in the area that can really pinch in on these. Unfortunately, they're not able to. Wow, and I believe that was that catcher hiding behind the tree. Yeah,
it's been known.
Oh, and Big Mo making an attempt on the tree ends up having to take the both down, and not skilled in block is going to end this turn prematurely, and that's gonna dash any hopes of getting a touchdown for the Orcs this turn.
Big Mo got wood.
Yeah, he got a full face of wood, and Coach Thunton is not happy about that. He was still hoping to.
Nearly had Big Mo's eye out then.
Yeah, this is I wouldn't want to be Big Mo after this half going into that locker room. He may be getting attacked by his own teammates. It may not be just the coach this time.
You do, though. I think he's got to worry more about splinters on his anus.
Yeah, well, he may be getting more splinters on his anus because of riding the pine. They came in with 12 players, and we in the past have actually seen Big Mo get benched. So they may sit Big Mo and put an extra lineman on the field in his place. So this is
we've got the rookie lineman needs there. He might be a game breaker. He might make his name in this game. We don't know yet.
We have in the past seen these Orc linemen actually come up with huge plays. That I believe it was against. I want to say it was one of the Lizard teams back a few seasons ago that a lineman carried the ball all the way up the field and scored the last turn touchdown with a couple of real flashy dodges. So we have seen. Speaking of flashy dodges,
whoa.
The Elves are back in effect, and the Elves have enough movement that they actually can score another touchdown.
This is it. I have a hatred of Wood Elves and War Dancers, but they're so damn sexy when they do this sort of thing. It's great to watch.
It's one of those things where a really skilled Wood Elf coach like the Stu, they're going to put you in situations, and they're gonna know the mobility and the risk that they're willing to take, and it's nerve-wracking because you know that they're coming for you. You know they're going to put pressure on the ball, and it's just you just seem to run out of options every time. It's like, okay, well then I'm gonna put some tackle zones on them, and then they dodge out and they do something else, and then you're like, well then I'm gonna try and hit this guy, and then it's a blodge guy, and you can't get him down. So yeah, it's one of those where these elves are difficult to deal with if you can't find a way to really pin them in and get good clean hits on them. So
I think they might have utilised some of that Yeti poop from the last game. So I'm not sure if actually tree men pooped, do they? One of the poop acorns?
I think they just have dirt. That's just they dirt.
The dirt. That's a polite way of putting it.
Yeah, they just dirt. They take root and they dirt.
The dirt.
That's it. That's all I got. They dirt.
Okay.
So at this point,
it must be quite hard having to pass a wooden turd.
It's not a pleasant experience. It's not something you sign up for, I'll put it that way.
Oh, it always ends in wrongness.
So, looks like they're making an attempt to get the ball out of harm's way, but this is just kind of a rough situation because kind of no matter where they put it, the massive amount of mobility that these elf catchers have, if they can find a way to get it loose, they'll find a way to pick it up and score.
I'm
Oh, this
just
is
looking at the Titans thrower here, Timbo. He's a rookie. He's not very experienced. Am I missing something here? Maybe you're more familiar with the Green Titans recently. Have they lost a thrower?
I don't think they've lost a thrower recently. I know they had some bad luck earlier against some dwarves and that. I think their team's fairly intact, but the thrower is more of a support piece. Gorbag's their main ball carrier in that, and they do keep a thrower around just in case something should happen to Gorbag, like a wizard gets a hold of him and throws a lightning bolt that connects or something like that. That they need to have players there that can do these things, but. Yeah, Gorbag's really the star of this team and does most of the hard work when it comes to ball handling and that. So they don't rely on the passer all that much.
Gorbag is a stud. He's very attractive for an orc. Not in a just in a man crush sort of way. Just as I have a bit of a crush on Jason Statham. Does it mean I want to do anything? But it's it's one of them things.
You can just respect that. He's a heck of a prospect. He's just
good
he's
looking
really
chap.
Impressive.
Yeah.
You just go. I think he'd be a great wingman. If I went to the bar, all the attractive women would come hang out with us and really find us interesting.
Exactly. Despite him being an orc and one fang bigger than the other fang, but yeah.
It adds character.
Yeah, it's a talking point.
Speaking of adding character, that's gonna bring us to halftime, I believe. Another failed dodge by the Wood Elf.
Yeah, half time. I'm gonna have to get some snacks and some refreshments. Be right back after these messages.
All right, I'll talk a little nonsense here. So we'll run through some of the playoffs and that real quick here since we got a moment. This is this is our third matchup of the playoffs so far. That we still have Dignity and it's the Leaf Dancers, I believe. That still have to play. That game will be I believe Sunday morning. So make sure to set your alarm clocks and that. Well, actually, I might be able to get you a time. I know that it was just an impressively early game. That I'm going to try and wake up. Over here in America, we do have a time change in that. So let's see if I can get that time for you. All right. So, where is it?
Yeah, I'm experiencing the technical difficulties again. I've got black screened again.
Did you? That's unfortunate. I haven't had that issue yet, so I'm hoping I didn't jinx it. I'm just looking to try and lock up when the Dignity Leaf Dancers, I think it was. Yeah, Dignity Leaf Dancers game will be the fourth playoff game, and I believe that's on Sunday. I can't seem to find the exact time of it, but
Bit of an elf off.
yeah, but that's it's Bashy Elf. Because I really look at the presence of physique and some of the players like that they really present a little bit bashier of a game than you see from high elves normally. Normally you see the high elves focused on the passing game with eccentric and the Dignity still has that offensive ability, but I think generally they pride themselves a little bit more on the bashy game than we see with a lot of them.
They do, yeah, but this last season, Coach Pong has been in my conference with the Leaf Dancers, Wood Elf team. As much as I hate them, I love to see them play. He's a really good coach. He coaches them really well, and he plays to his strengths, and he's really effective at what he does. Fantastic team to watch.
Yeah, and that's one of those, we're looking at the playoff brackets and that. I mean, 8 teams in the playoffs, and we're looking at 4 elf coaches. So we have we have Dignity, we have the White Owls, the Leaf Dancers, and Leaf Dancers, White Owls, Dignity, and Witches Coven. So we have 4 elf teams, and then we have 4 teams that would be a little bit more bashy. We have Reptile Dysfunction, who's moving forward. Norse leap till Brooklyn. I mean, the Norse are our proper hitting team. And then we have the two orc teams, two of the well-respected orc teams with the Wrecking Crew and the Green Tide Titans that you're seeing right here. So I mean, a pretty good mix of teams coming into these playoffs.
Interestingly enough, have them. Well, I should know really. Been their conference. Last Pumas, last season's champions.
Yeah.
How have they fixed? Did they not make the playoffs?
No, they I believe they missed it just by a little bit. That they were still in the running late, but I believe they ended up getting a bowl game. I think it was, but
Okay.
just came up a bit short when it came to the playoffs. That they had 14 points total and just barely would have missed it. I think they got outrun. They got
They're a
outrun by
fantastic team to watch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of impressive players, they have just some players that are absolutely just freaks of nature out there with
Royce
having
Gracie
5
and
strength and
Royce Gracie and McGregor. They're just on the tips of your tongues all the time. They're formidable opponents.
Speaking of formidable opponents, we've got the White Owls receiving the ball. They've got it roped up. It looks like they may have actually caught it on the kickoff. Looked like a high kick, I think. Oh, it looks like the Pumas did get a bowl game that they're playing the Princes. So that's in a short 14 hours. So don't stay up too late. You're going to want to make sure to wake up early and get in on that game too.
I think I might miss that one. I think I'm actually previously engaged around that time.
Yeah, I've actually set alarms on that I'm going to try and not overindulge tonight, and I might farm a bit, but I'm going to try and keep a decent pace and keep myself well behaved. I'm going to try and wake up early at 6 a.m. We have one of our Challenge League playoff games going through with Harrelsons and Orksnall. We got Wood Elves versus Orcs again on that one, and that should be a real good matchup with Lou Liz and Disco Davo.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned. Interesting you mentioned the Challenge League playoffs. As we know, this next coming season, we do bring changes into the MML where the top 2, I believe it is, the Challenge League teams actually make it into the pros, and the bottom 2 pro teams actually go into the Challenge League. So they've got something to fight for. It should be an interesting season next season.
Yeah, it'll add a little bit extra to the playoffs in the Challenge League, but it's really one of those where I think the Challenge League's already at that point for the most part. I don't think that you can really look at it as a secondary league with the talent of the coaches and the teams that are down there. They're all well respected and known. Well,
no, I don't mean to badmouth any coach up there. They're all fantastic coaches, but with the pros, there's more hype. There's more. Yeah, it's in your face with the pros. It's all there. People know the players. They know the characters. They know the teams. That's what I was. I was in the chat earlier on, and I was trying to promote that with the Challenge League. I said it'd be nice if we hear a few more stories from Challenge League coaches trying to establish themselves, not just as a team but as individuals as well, getting to know the players on an individual basis.
It looks like we got Rob Shank using a little pylon there was effective and took the star catcher off the field. So the Wood Elves are starting to slowly have their numbers dwindle down some, and that's gonna really slow up this offense a bit on this turn. I expect that the Titans are most likely gonna drop Gorbak back as a safety or coverage or something. That he's gonna become needed for defensive purposes pretty quickly here, because with the Wood Elves kind of setting stuff up, that the White Owls are gonna start moving their catchers up the field and into place, and we're gonna need a few players to try and put some kind of a defense on them. So we'll see how the rest of this positioning turns, but this isn't easy for the Orcs to cover such speedy players.
Well, as we saw in the just on the stroke half time there, what the Wood Elves are capable of. The ball was there within a gnat snacker, if you like
Yeah.
to say, of the end zone, and within a second it was flip-sided and it was back down the other pitch.
Yeah, and that's first step on that is just the expert positioning of these coaches. It's one of those
Oh, that's
where they're
unfortunate.
capable. Yeah, and Fun Bus coming up a little light on the lumber and taking a fistful of tree there.
It's never good to have a tree fist in you. It's never good.
Well, and you notice that Big Mo wasn't even trusted to make an attempt at it. I don't think Big Mo attempted to block that.
To be
That they
honest,
went with the red die instead.
I don't think Big Mo would even feel it if White Tree tried to fist him. Looking
Yeah,
at his saggy
he's
buttocks.
he he's been boning it the entire game. That this actually may be the last time we see Big Mo. I know it's been threatened for going on 4 or 5 seasons now, but yeah, this game has been a great disappointment for Big Mo. He hasn't really been capable of doing anything. So yeah, it's almost to the point where we may see him get walked out of the stadium and then just his access just taken away. He may become a permanent fixture out in the parking lot, signing autographs from days past for fans that still like him. But yeah, he may be looking at his last game because for every game where he comes up huge, there's a game like this where it's a complete letdown and he's a liability. So
I'm sure he has a following. I'm sure he has a fan following up there. Interesting enough, has Coach Thunden ever employed goblins into his team?
We've never seen him take goblins on for like long-term use. We've seen him a few times dabble in the goblins on that back a few seasons. That we actually at one point saw Big Mo benched for a goblin back in that time where they brought in one of their young rookie goblins and that, and just the goblins haven't hung around long enough that they don't seem to really fit into what the team's been looking at doing and their overall approach. That
Okay.
for the most part, yeah, they will they'll use a goblin every now and then, but we haven't seen a player. A goblin player really stick around for more than a few games.
Well, we all like a good gobble.
And there we're seeing that breakout now. Slick and dingy or sliding dirty, moving up the field, and we're gonna get a player to mark Gorbag. So they're looking to use a little positioning in that. It looks like they may have allowed a seam up the center though.
So if you look at the wall here, they have a loose screen.
Yeah, there's a bit of a hole in it.
Yeah,
I
there
don't
is
know
here
if
on the
there's
right hand side.
mobility.
Yeah, but interesting to see who can actually break through that gap.
I think it'd be risky, but I think they at least can get a tackle zone into the area or something like that.
That's it.
That they can
Kill the war dancer. Come on, son. Kill him. Kill him slowly. Got him with a spoon.
So we're looking at the Orcs making adjustments, marking up players again, trying to slowly put the clamps on these Wood Elves. No rush to move any one particular player in any position or that, but yeah, just patiently trying to come up with a game plan where they can work their way in, recoup that ball, and here we go. Are they gonna take a swing at the loner, or is Gorbag gonna try and blitz? And the blitz is coming from the Black Orc on the damaged lineman already.
And he's a good night Vienna.
Yeah, that's an AV6 lineman. That player with a stiff breeze will knock him over and hurt him. So not surprising that he's finding his way to the sideline right now.
Which will free up Clifford, the Orc blitzer, with the tackle skill. which may put him on the Wood Elf thrower there, which he has done.
Yeah, the thrower's got company now, but it's one of those where with such agility, and Big Mo ineffective again. I'm a little surprised that Louise didn't, or no, Louise there didn't take a swing at the tree.
I think you're getting confused there with our coach in the MML there, Louise.
Louise. I got all kinds of L's flying around in my head, I guess.
Well, it is late. We've had a few drinks. Does it really matter? You know, it's dark.
Nah,
doesn't matter. Any hole to go.
As long as the Black Orc doesn't mind, I don't think I'm gonna mind. I just don't want to make any enemies. The enemies on the Titans. They've already given me a rough time once. So
make love, not war.
And
oh my word! Bring out your dead! Bring out your dead!
Well, this is going to be a difficult situation. This is tough for Coach Thundon. There's still quite a few turns left. He is going to go for the apothecary.
Oh,
and it's gonna be an injury.
Him.
It's a miss next game, so he does not have to replace the blitzer, but that's going to take the apothecary off the field for them.
See, I find that really interesting. He actually died, and the medic brought him back to life. And he suffered a groin strain. So what actually killed him? Did he rip his nuts off? And he had a massive hemorrhage?
No, I believe the hit actually, it looked from this angle like the hit actually stopped the player's heart. And in the process of trying to revive him, he actually had to do some things with the groin area and stretching of the legs and that, and it really was a sharp, aggressive motion, and it strained the groin in the process of snapping him back to life.
You think kind of a massage around the groin area?
It can be a wonderful wake up call, and this time I think it may have saved the player's life. Oh, and the Phils go for it.
Not this time.
No, and that's gonna be a 2-0 lead with Slicky, Tricky, Dirty. Not sure what else there is. Yeah, no. with Slick and Dirty, the catcher.
Yes.
So.
Well, that's quite. It changes things a little now.
Well, if nothing else, the Orcs are going to get the ball. If they can get a quick touchdown and in the process take out a few of these Wood Elves, they may have a chance. But this is one of those where it's going to be tough for them. They lost a blitzer, and the Wood Elves have been playing so aggressive that it's been tough to cage and get any solid hits on. So. Man, it looks like they actually got the star player back woken up and on the field. I didn't notice them on the previous drive.
Yeah, I can confirm he is back on the pitch.
So yeah, all players that are threatening still back on the field. The Wood Elves are down the plus movement catcher still, and a loner lineman, but running at a healthy 10 players. So 10 on 11. Haven't seen much damage on the Wood Elves. A little surprising with the amount of mighty blow that the Orcs showed up with. That just not triggering.
But
and,
we saw that in the last game as well, didn't we? With a dwarf team heavily stacked with mighty blow, and it was ineffective, and they came off worst.
Well, it looks like Big Mo is being put off to the sideline. Yeah, that he's been taken off of line duties. He's being put off into a corner of shame, so that everybody can see, and more bribes. So we've got each team double bribed up right now. That there's just cash falling out of their pockets, and still no fouling.
I'm thinking, we have got the orcs, obviously green skins, goblins, green skins. Have we got a bit of compadre thing going on here? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and three out of 4 dice were skulls in this one. That must have been just torment flashing across the eyes of Coach Thundon. Luckily, the fourth one out of that situation was a POW, but yeah, that's been happening quite often to him lately, and not a great feeling. So the Big Mo replacement, the lineman in for Big Mo named Meat, is eyeballing the tree like this may be his big moment.
Well, we did mention Meat earlier on and how a lineman can change the game. As you mentioned earlier on with the dodging and scoring, he might be able to make his name in this game.
Yeah, we have seen recently. We saw Iggy Max, a goblin that recently joined the Grunts, really came in and had a huge impact in his first game. So, you know, these players that don't get as much attention sometimes, these lower skilled players can have a huge impact on a game when they do step up and you know, seize the opportunity.
Right, we're on the Russian standard now.
There we go. We've gone Soviet.
Нет, comrade. Perestroika. If he dies, he dies. You will lose.
I haven't noticed the blitz yet. We've got Gorkbar in blitzing distance of the tree, and he's strength 4. So, I mean, I have to imagine the blitz is going to be targeted on one of these on the tree men, because I don't think there's enough mobility to really to get a clean attack on anybody else.
Well, the guy you mentioned, the lineman there, Meat, still is still waiting to make his name. He's still there, eager to go. Might we see a blitz from him, perchance? Oh no, we see his line.
No, he gets passed over. And that's going to be an effective attack on the tree. Downs the tree. And the slow crumple to the ground. And we're going to get the foul. Little Meat coming in with the double fist strike on the tree. Lands it clean in the crotch. Comes up a bit short. Could not locate the target of choice. And the tree is back up and slowly puts that crotch right in Meat's face.
I think
Meat almost caught a splinter on the nose there.
It was better than catching some meat in your face.
Yeah, well, he might have caught a little bit. He got a twig across the cheek, if nothing else.
Yeah, I think Coach Fundland there was obviously whispering the rookie lineman's ear there. He says, look, it's a big game. You're a new player. Make it in for yourself. Take out that tree man. You will go. You will known in the almanac of the Green Tide Titans for fouling and killing a tree man. But it was
it's a feather in your hat. If you can take out a tree man, that'll change the shape of the last few turns here. But they've basically at this point went, we're all right with fouling. We're gonna bring the fight now. So I think we're gonna see Meat go to work turn after turn looking for a victim, because that was that looked like the game plan for that turn was to load up and try and pound that tree.
So basically, you say we're going to see a lot of meat, a lot of wood pounding against each other?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I said, and I think that we all expected that coming into this game. Really, that might have been the goal for some of the players to get the meat wood pairing, at optimal level and really grind it in.
It's a lot of grinding. Okay, I like the way this is going.
Haven't seen a hypnotic gaze in a few turns here, so
I'm hypnotized already. You've hypnotized me with your words.
We'll see what comes of the rest of this one.
I'll tell you what's coming now.
And all players of value have been evacuated from contact with the orcs. That the tree is the only player that's been left behind. So the standard Wood Elf columns have been engaged. Now, Harry, I know how you really enjoy war dancers getting hurt.
Oh yes, talk to me, baby. Talk to me.
It would be really risky, but they could get a clean hit on War Dancer here.
Oh, ask and you shall receive, my friend.
Oh, it came up a bit short.
I'd be tempted to re-roll that. Just to see some
That's
Wardance's brain.
unfortunate.
Just to see some Wardance's brain.
Oh, hey, Harry, I just found this out the other day, and I think you'll enjoy this. Did you know that Tentacle is effective on leap? That a player that tries to leap away has to take the tentacle dice roll?
I didn't know that, but it does make sense. Because anyway, he's like dodging out of a tackle zone, so... Yeah, well...
But tail does not affect it. Jumping away from a tail player does not trigger the tail effect on the leap. So that's your learning moment in the MML for this week.
You've enlightened me, because I know you currently field 2 tail players. Am I right in correcting? I field the 1.
Yeah, I've got 2 tail, and I'm in the near future going to acquire a tentacle one. So.
Yeah, I've got a Minotaur with rather large tentacles. Yeah.
Yes, and that's what they're all looking for is the tentacles. The tentacles, yeah, that's the one.
Bit of sweetbread. Yeah.
Yeah, it sets the pace early and often.
Well, it's all protein. It's all good.
Oh yeah. A little disappointed. Haven't seen anything that looks to be a gang foul in this turn yet. I was hoping that would continue. Something just, it sets the mood right.
There is time yet. Obviously, the Titans have got the ball now. Obviously, there's a high possibility they will score. But again, the kick-off to the White Elves after the score, and that's what goes against them. So, will we see some brutality and vengeance on behalf of the Orcs here distributed?
It's looking like the Orcs are resigning themselves to their fate, and yeah, I hate to say it, but I think they kind of expected it a bit. Their record in the playoffs hasn't been stellar. That they've had season after season of disappointment as soon as they get to the playoffs. So yeah, this is just more of the same for them, I think, and it's going to be a tough loss because it would take some pretty fancy moves to put up 2 against a solid Wood Elf team like the White Owls.
Well, so I think the Titans are perfectly capable of scoring here, and I have belief in them. But more than watching them score a touchdown, I want that War Dancer dead. And if that happens, I will marry Thundon. Even if he doesn't want to marry me, I will marry him. I will make him my wife. Well, I've got to get divorced first, but then I will make him my wife. So.
The proper papers have to be filed and all that, but I mean, it's a certainty.
No, definitely.
So looks like they're slowly building the elf screen, and the columns are getting put out there. I know that you're not going to get the word answer death maybe, but would you take a constellation talented catcher surfing?
Yeah, but that's just like an appetizer, isn't it? That's just like foreplay. It's not the full, hello. It's just a bit of teasing, a bit of nibbling, a bit of tickling, a bit of caressing.
No one told me nothing about the full Monty.
A bit of excitement. That's what that is. But the War Dancer death is like, oh my god, you're lifting the roof here. But it's just like the tip of the iceberg. I'd settle for it, but I want more. That's what we're talking. You've got my attention. I'm excited. I've got one.
You got 4 turns left. You've got 4 bribes between the two teams. I don't think that the Wood Elves are gonna go to the level of fouling, but I mean, it's definitely an opportunity.
It is, but we're looking here with the Wolves trying to stack on the centre and right hand side as I look at the pitch here. Might we see a switch to the flank on the other side? Is there anybody within scoring range?
I just don't think that that the orcs have the mobility. They can go side to side all they want, but with the wood elves, it's really going to come to the point where they're going to need a failed dodge to get them fully out of position. That it's going to be tough for the orcs to really pin them down. That the wood elves aren't even they're not even attempting to stop the ball. They're just they're keeping the orcs busy for a few more turns so that they can get their win.
But
That,
if Gorbag actually blitzes with the ball, is he not in touchdown range here?
Gorbag should be within range. With one go for it.
Yeah.
So he can be within range with one goal for it, but it's going to be one of those where he will have to. Best I can tell, no matter where he goes, he's going to have to make a dodge roll out of wherever he blitzes to. So it's not an easy situation for him. That I think the elves have basically slowed the touchdown up one more turn.
I don't know. It'd be interesting. I mean, Coach Sunderland, very talented coach, knows what he's doing. Obviously, carefully planning his move through here, watching the clock, which is running down, and Big Mo lives up, and he is actually effective here. It'd be interesting to see what he pulls off here. He's obviously got a plan in mind.
It looks like he's building a massive cage right up the middle. That he's gonna mark up as many players as he can, and it looks like he may just be planning on dropping Gorbag in a cage. And no, Gorbag's gonna go for a blitz here. So blitzing with the ball, Gorbag showing no fear, and he's moving forward. They are gonna go for that touchdown that you predicted. It looks like.
Yeah. Come on! Oh no!
And the star player with nerves of steel trips Gorbag and steals the ball in one fail swoop.
Oh my word! I did not expect that at all.
And that may have been Coach Thunden seeing the time ticking away and knowing that if he had any chance at all to keep pace with the with getting 2 touchdowns, that he had to make the touchdown this turn.
Well, Coach Stu has now just pissed on my bonfire. He has pissed on my chips. My only advice to Coach Sunderland now is just kill.
Can we get one more kill? I think he needs one more.
Kill.
There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's tough because the Wood Elves really haven't given them much opportunity to get the hits that they need. They've kept their distance. I've in the past I played against the Treehawks and they played an excellent game like that too, where it's the entire game you just feel like you're chasing after the other person's players and you never get a clean hit, and you're limited on how many hits you can get on them because they keep just dodging away, and it's difficult to play a bashy team when the other team really when they're as well coached as what we're seeing from the Stu here and with Sacer and his Treehawks, where the Wood Elf coaches that are the really skilled ones make it absolutely just a nightmare to try and get the hits on.
It is both coaches, and this last season I've had a Dark Elf team and a Wood Elf team in my conference, and you're trying to level your players up, and you want to make them killers, you want to make them effective. So you're thinking Mighty Blow, Claw, but then you look at what you've got in your conference. You've got elves, so you need the tackle to combat the dodge. But it's one of them things. It's two-sided. It's a double-sided coin. What do you do?
Yeah, and that's one of those where you see a lot of the orc coaches. They're starting to develop a little bit more and more the tackle pieces and things like that to really combat some of this stuff. But even with the tackle piece, tackle's great for when you're attacking them. But I mean, with a group like the White Owls, it's one of those where you can get in there, you can get your hits on the players, but it's gonna end up coming up short because the tackle ability will stop them from really getting away sometimes, but they'll have the rerolls left over to to overcome that tackle piece most times. So, yeah, it's a Wood Elf coach that's really good and knows their team. It's tough to stop them when they get the ball. You know, it's next to impossible. If they have a wizard, they're gonna often find a way to get the lightning bolt or the fireball to open up a gap because I mean Wood Elf coaches are always looking to score, and it's just next to impossible to stop them when they have a well-laid plan.
Definitely. I mean, I'm disappointed, and I'm sure Coach Thunder's disappointed. Not only, I mean, I'm not talking about the score. I'm talking about the lack of casualties. We've got a team heavily stacked in MMLPro, and it has been ineffective. I mean, being coaches, slurring my words now. That's the Russian standard kicking in.
He's doing his job.
We have a lot of claw, which obviously is ineffective on the armor value. If they're low armor value, it's ineffective. But this team is stacked with mighty blow, and you expect injuries against a team like that, and it's just not happening. It's not happened.
Yeah, and this is just one of those where the Titans came out. They did everything they could, and it's going to be unfortunate for them, but it's not due to lack of trying. It's one of those where the elves did a great job of positioning and keeping their distance and being aggressive at times when they were able to, and like I said, this game, it's really reminiscent of 3 seasons ago when I had a bowl game against the Treehawks, where it's just the entire game you just feel like you can't keep up with the other team. You can't hit them. You're just chasing them the whole time, and it really does. It becomes one of those where about halfway through the game you feel defeated because you haven't gotten any hits, you haven't gotten any injuries. You've been trying to figure out what to do to stop the tree half the time, and it's just when coaches get oh my, and the tree taking a long walk, a couple of go
that
for
was
it.
a slow blitz. That has to be slower than a mummy blitz.
Yeah, and that's they're going to actually push. They're going with a push on this one, so it looks like they still have their eyes at scoring. It looks like they're gonna. He's got the distance now, and off he goes, and sizing up the go for it's now.
And we do have a reroll.
Yeah, this is looking like a touchdown here, and this is that sexy movement and ability to move the ball great distances at the blink of an eye. I mean, that was we were looking at Gorbag looking to walk in a touchdown, and that was 2 turns ago, and that was completely up on the other side of the field. This one took 2 turns. The previous one took 1 turn. So
point to note as well. Point to note as well. This the catch here. Although he has movement 9, he also possesses the sprint skill, which obviously provides him with that extra GFI.
Yeah, he's got that sprint skill that does give him that extra distance, and then he has the movement 9 that gives him another step too. So he's actually 1 push away from being a 1-turner. So, and I believe they actually have two players of that build. So the mobility of the White Owls is right up there at gutter runner ranges. So.
Gutter runners to me are not in the same league as war dancers. I don't like them, but I don't hate them. War dancers are a league of their own.
Yeah. Gutter runners are annoying, but for some reason they just still seem fun. Where war dancers are the stuff of nightmares when they're on just a tear, on a good game and that, and you just can't do anything to stop them. They go wherever they want, and it's one of those where we in this game, the war dancer, I don't think he leaped at all. Well, maybe he leaped 1 time, I think.
Yeah, he did. But what I think the disadvantage against the gutter runners is they're not as strong. They're only strength 2. So when you do get hold of them, they feel the blitz, they feel the block as well.
Yeah, it's one of those where when you get a hold of a gutter runner, it's game time. It's time to play. And yeah, I've seen more than a few gutter runners. Oh, are we gonna get a pylon on the tree?
We
Plant
are.
the wood. And nothing.
Yeah, there's something very satisfying about hitting a gutter runner and injuring him. I mean, I've jizzed in my pants many a times when I've hit a gutter runner. I've had sticky pants.
Yeah. Well, it looks like the... And... failed goal for it. At this point, not much reason not to use the... and that puts a tackle zone on them, but there's really not much they can do to stop this touchdown. No re-rolls by the Wood Elves, but that...
But Ripper Ward does possess the tackle skill, which will negate the dodge skill, and it all depends on Nuffle.
Yeah, it's an 83% touchdown chance there.
Mm.
So this is going to be another early exit for the Titans from the postseason. I know that Coach Thunden was predicting that the entire week, but I think secretly he felt like this year might have been his year.
See, I've got a lot of respect for Thunder and the Green Tide Titans. I always have, along with the Titans and the Power Hour. They're my two favourite teams in the pros. I do like to see them play, and I've still watched them play over a lot of seasons. But this season, I've seen some strange results, and it's not what I've expected. And
yeah,
it's been interesting.
It's been one of those where there've been there've been a lot of ups and downs in the season and that, and it's it's even with the Titans, they had a real down game against the Dwarf team, and it's one of those where this game might be a little bit similar for them for that aspect where they just, and there's the third touchdown for the White Owls. The player NTB getting another one, and seems to be quite pleased with himself.
Judging by his celebration there, he looks as though he's spent a lot of time training capoeira. You do have the twists and turns in the air there.
Yeah, he looks like he may take some of that Jamaican plant sometimes. Wood Elves known for being very holistic and liking to be out in the woods with the different plants and stuff. So he may partake in different herbal remedies also.
Herbal. Yeah.
And now the elves bravely run away.
I think we're going to see some damage here. We need to see some damage. Come on, Thunden.
I don't know. I think the loner and the star player are definitely forfeit, but we'll see if his British side starts showing, or maybe we could get a mercy killing on the AV6 lineman.
What do you mean, the British side?
His British side. Every now and then he gets really up and British and gentleman-like,
He does actually. He can be proper. I know what you mean. He can be proper British. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's much like me. Sometimes I get a little bit too soft for being a good solid chaos coach. Sometimes I need to I need to get back to being the bad guy every now and then. And I forget I'm allowed to be the big nasty mean angry guy that goes in and destroys your team.
It's like, I don't know if you've followed the chat between me and Thunden. We tend to have like a love-hate relationship with the North and South divide. I do admire him. He can be so British at times, but that's when I started admiring him. But we still have that divide.
Oh, there you go. You got the loner injury, so he's 1 for 1 at this point with the pile-on injury, getting the loner out. I think they're going to mark up with the star player next on the list. Successful attack.
Interesting.
Does get the armor break, but only a stun.
And we don't have any one-turners in this team, though, unfortunately, so we can't reap the experience points.
No, but it looks like they're looking to possibly kill the. Looking to possibly line up a massive attack on the star player, a sidewinder killing possibly in the near future.
Eldrill.
Come on, Thunden. I will marry you. I will have your babies if you kill Eldrill.
Now, Eldrill isn't one of the players that we've seen killed in the past. We have seen some star players killed allegedly.
What happened then?
Looks like Big Mo is trying to kill himself actually, and almost was successful.
I'm back on the match result now. I missed the end of that game.
Yeah, it was Big Mo taking a bit of a slip and fall and stunning himself. So,
Okay.
but
Well,
yeah, looking
hook, line, and sinker. Match over.
and Eldril Sidewinder ends up getting the MVP for the White Owls.
That's unfortunate.
Robbing the 5 SPP from the traditional players and.
2 armor breaks on the White Elves there. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's one of those where playing a Bashy team, they only threw 11 blocks. That most of their game was running away. That they did a good job with keeping distance from the Orcs and you see that immediately because you're not going to see many games where the Titans are gonna slug it out and only get 39 successful blocks.
Yeah, definitely. Are the coaches with us in the chat now?
Aye.
Why?
Yes, sir.
Alright, darling, you alright?
Sweetheart.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, it was we'll start with Thun. We'll let him get his crying out of the way early. You kind of predicted it. You had a bad feeling about this one, I think, and it was one of those where the elves did a good job of keeping away. Do you think there was anything else you could have done besides nailing them to the ground to try and keep them in one place? Because it's one of those where is there any game plan that you wish you would have done different, or I mean, was there not much else that could be done?
Well, to be honest, I've played Stu before. I know exactly how good a coach he is. I managed to beat him first game of the season because I had the dice rolls, and the injuries went in the first half. Got the player advantage and managed to, as it's the only way you can win with Orcs against Wood Elves, right? You've got to get the player advantage. If you don't get that, and you're playing a good coach, then it's difficult, right? I think the one thing that went for me tonight is I survived the lightning bolt. Yay. That's about it, I think. Yeah. 2 double skulls in a row was wonderful. Gorbag screwing up at the blitz dodge at the end. I thought the odds were against that. Just key moments in the game went away from me. Every hit I had seemed to be either a stun or just a knockdown. I had a couple of KOs in the first half, but that's not what you need. And Stu played positionally excellently as he always does. We spoke about it before the game when we were having a little chat, and we said, game's probably going to be decided in the first 4 turns. And yeah, it certainly proved out. Yet again, the 3-0 loss to Wood Elves in the playoffs. I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted. Like you said, Shots, I've been talking a good game all week and saying I didn't expect to go through. We always lose in the playoffs. I thought this was my year.
Yeah, it's tough, and that's one of those where watching the positioning and the dodges and that it's one of those where if you can't catch a break here or there, it becomes really difficult. If you're playing against
on the team now as well. I put tackle on the team specifically to avoid the same crap that happened last year in the playoffs. And every time he was rolling a 1, it was with the guy either not next to the tackle guy. Or a 1 when it didn't count. And there was an auto re-roll built in. It was just one of those games. Great play by Stu. Left the players down the pitch as you have to do with the elves, and swift movement takes it away from you. There's not a lot you can do.
I must say, I've been sat here with me jogging bottoms on my ankles and my porridge gun in my hand, realising there's one war dancer on the pitch and hoping for that death, and it never happened.
Yeah, and by the way, at the end, I didn't block his actual player because Stu's a good friend. He's in my same play pool. May he long go on and represent us in the playoffs and hopefully win the final. So I wish him all the best, and I want him to have every capability that he's got. The final player of the match.
Very honourable of you.
Well, he's a good guy. There's no need to foul in turn 16 to ruin someone's team. The final player of the match was Big Mo's final play. That
That
was
was
his
him
sprint
leaving,
down the
wasn't
pitch,
it?
and that was him eating
I
turf, and that's goodbye, Big Mo.
That was his swan song.
I had a feeling about halfway through that we might have been watching the end of it because he's been the biggest anchor in the league for season after season, and yeah, the conviction in your voice every time that you would say it just got a little bit stronger, and lately it's been a gravelly, deep tone whenever you threaten to fire Big Mo. So I had a feeling that this might have been the end of it.
I would have
So
been
what are we
fitting
going to
if he'd
see?
died on that sprint.
Are we going to see an Orc team playing without a troll? Is that what you're saying?
Can neither confirm nor deny.
Okie dokie.
Well, that's going to make next season a little bit better for me if Big Mo's not around, and or maybe it'll make it a lot more difficult now that you'll have a player that'll actually listen. But breaking news here that Big Mo is being forcibly retired, I'd say.
Yep, he's being taken out to the car park with the promise of a new horse and cart, and then there'll be someone with a nice little bolt gun there and a cart that will certainly take Big Mo off, but he'll be taken off to the glue factory.
So yeah,
Dog food.
I'll cut Thundon loose from this interview. I'll let him
Can
know
I
that
say
it was,
one
it
more
was a
thing?
great season. Oh yeah, definitely.
Stu, good luck, buddy. You played a great game tonight, man, and I wish you all the best, mate.
Thanks. You play an awesome game too.
Yeah, Thundon, I want to congratulate you on a great season. You represented the Death Valley properly, and I don't think there's many teams that can stop the White Owls when they're on point like that. The positioning, the dodging, everything like that was just excellent. And the Stu, how do you feel about this game? What were your opening thoughts on it?
I am really pleased. It's my first playoff win in 2 seasons. Really happy about it. Last year I've got a major beating by Dignity. I think it was a 5-1 or something like that. It was terrible. So now it just feels better.
Definitely. No, you played a great game. You started off a few of these drives with really being aggressive when you kick off, putting tackle zones on the ball. Gorbag did a great job of handling the ball in that, but just one of those where the wizard and word answers and that kind of came in. Were you actively stalling to try and use the wizard late in the first half? Was that part of a plan, or it was just that the double skull opened up the window for that, where you just felt like that was the perfect opportunity? Was it something planned as far as the wizard, or just
Yes,
kind
there
of
was.
happened natural?
It was really planned. I wanted to use it in the second half, to be honest. I've used plenty of wizards this year because my team got beat up quite a lot in my first 2 matches.
You're welcome.
So afterwards, I realized that the threat of the wizard is way better than the wizard itself. I always had a back thought about that, thinking it was not that true, but it changes the way people play so much that if you can keep it, it's going to make a big difference, especially when you have leap, strip ball, players that can, even without a wizard, steal a ball. It just opens more doors when you don't use it, actually. So my plan was to use it in the second half, probably let him score in the first half, then rely on my one-turner guy to try and equalize it, and in second half, score, give him the ball, and at the last second, use the wizard so he doesn't score another one. That was the plan. But definitely the 4 skulls changed everything.
Yeah, my soul hurt on that one because that's one of those where you walk into a situation and it was the only way for that to fail was 4 skulls. That it was a block player attacking a player that didn't have block, and I don't believe the player even had dodge. So pretty much
I think
every
it was a
other.
loner. I think it was a
I
journeyman.
thought it was the thrower actually. That I don't think the thrower has block or dodge.
Oh, it would make sense. No, you're right.
But I just saw the first set of skulls pop up, and I'm like, well, there goes the reroll. And then the second set of skulls came up, and I had that look where I'm like, did that even reroll? I'm like, there's no way. And then yeah, it really set the pace. And at that point, yeah, the sideline was opened up for the Surf and the Wizard and that, and
When you
you
think
know
about it,
it's
it was 5 1s in a row because he quad skull, and then I used the wizard.
yeah, it was a rough run there, but no, you had excellent positioning. Really went for it on the touchdowns and that. We've seen in other bowl games and playoff games where some people are trying to to stall more and really be patient and you know it can backfire sometimes where you know the White Owls are notorious for scoring and putting up points and you coached an excellent game. And you're going to end up going into the next run of the next round of the playoffs. Any teams that you would prefer to see or like to avoid at this point?
I would like to face any team that is not the Crew.
I think that's pretty much every team in the league that doesn't want to face the Crew. They are
I've
they're a
played
tough opponent.
I'd have loved to
I've
have
played
faced them.
Caven. I've played Caven a couple of times lately in the farm, and that guy is at a different level when it comes to positioning his players. There's never, even for a slippery Wood Elf team, there's never a spot you can go through. I don't know how he does it. It's just incredible. It just gets frustrating playing against him. And I noticed that he has built up some tackle lately, and the only 2 teams I did not want to face were the 2 Orc teams, because the others, I have the feeling that if the dice are kind of nice, there's a good way I can win.
You're
But
a
to be
poet and you
honest-
don't know it.
Maybe. It's the French side.
Oh,
Yeah,
mon
no,
ami.
Orcs are terrible. My worst ratio against teams is versus orcs. I hate them. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Can I
no,
just interject here with it? I don't know if any of you guys have been following the Twitch chat. The commissioner himself has been caught that last game there, and he applauds you both for reaching this level here. He sends his congratulations to Stu, but he also mentions a nice run this season's Thunder made us Orcs proud. So you got the one tribe following there.
Always nice to hear. Always nice to hear. It was nice to end the tabletop, but it doesn't mean crap in the playoffs.
Yeah. At this
yeah,
point, might I add, if there's any viewers out there not familiar with the MML matches, why don't you check out MMLPro.com? You might check out a bit more information about these teams, their players, backstories, the franchise, the leagues, etc. Take a look. Back to you, Marshots.
Oh, I'm pretty well set up in that. I appreciate the coaches giving us an opportunity to call the game. They both did a great job. Tough luck for Sundon. The Stu coached a great game, and you know when Wood Elves are on, they're almost impossible to stop. So definitely a good win. Another tough end of the season for the Titans. I was rooting for you secretly, but yeah, it's tough sometimes. So hopefully both teams will be back next season and both find their way back into the playoffs. You know, joined by some other you know random chaos team or two possibly.
Obviously, I was a neutral in this game. I had no, persuasion for any team at all. Nobody had any players which I despise or anything like that, so I was neutral. Fucking
Yeah, right.
nonsense.
So thank you guys. Thank you guys for commentating. Great job as per usual. Yeah, really
Awesome
good of you.
job.
No
Thank you. Have a
problem.
nice one, everyone.
Hey Stu, good luck
Good
in the
night.
playoffs, man.
Good
Thank
night
you.
and God bless.
Good night, all. That's been an MML Pro broadcast, and this is your host, a defeated Thunder in the playoffs again, signing off. Thank you to our commentators. Thank you to the victorious Stu, who we wish well in the rest of the competition. And check out more action on MMLPro.com. Cheers and good night.